Hi, welcome back to English 111 Online. This week we are going to be starting our Core Project 5, which is going to have two parts. This week we're going to be working on the annotated bibliography part, and next week we'll be working on the infographic part. And this will be our last core project to do, and then after that the only thing left to do will be the final exam. So this week, view my video, which you're doing right now. View the slideshow for how to create an annotated bibliography. So let's take a look at that for just a minute. I'm going to put it on in, let's see, we're going to view it in presentation mode so I can go through it with you, and you can go back and look at it again if you would like to. All right, so for the annotated bibliography, you want to know what is it anyway. So it's a complete list of the sources that were used to complete a research paper or project. In your case, it's going to be the sources that you used for Project 4, which was your persuasive problem solution essay. Depending on the style guide that you follow, you may also see this called Works Cited or reference list. And I'm going to ask you in the assignment to call this annotated Works Cited. I'll remind you of that when we get to the sheet in just a moment. Each listed source or citation shares information about the author, title, publishing year, and other details that serve to credit the original authors whose work informed your research. And so it's basically those sources that you've already put on a Works Cited page for Project 4. And then the details also help other students and researchers to find and read the source materials. But in addition to that, an annotated bibliography has annotations. And annotation is simply a note. They're notes. And so before you learn how to make an annotated bibliography in MLA style, you may be wondering why you need to. Sometimes instructors want you to create and include annotations in your bibliography either as part of an assignment or as an assignment unto itself. And what we're actually doing is an assignment unto itself. Understanding the purpose of this approach to your references list can help to ensure that you gain all the benefits that the process provides. As a student, this method will help you develop or hone your research skills, providing you with practice not only in locating sources, but also in analyzing and evaluating them for relevance and quality. So supposedly you've already done some of this as you were filling out those CRAP test worksheets, and I told you to hang on to them because we could use it on this project, and I hope you still have them. Okay, so the steps to writing an annotated bibliography or an annotated Works Cited, which is what we're going to call it. You want to begin with the bibliographic information. Use MLA or APA guidelines or whatever type of style that your instructors require, but we're using MLA format. Include a concise description of the text. Ensure that the information is not only accurate, but also clear to someone who has not read the original document. So in doing a description of the test, or sometimes you'll find it called a descriptive summary, and in the assignment sheet, I'm just calling it a summary. You want to tell somebody what the source was all about so that someone who's never seen the source, never been to the website, or whatever it was that you were using, will have some idea of what it is. And so that's why we mean clear to someone who has not read the original document. That's what a good summary does. Then consider the relevance of a text when evaluating its contents. So in other words, this is where the evaluation comes in. This is where you use the information from the CRAP test worksheet that you were supposed to fill out. Is it a good, how do you know that it's a good source? Why did you choose to use it? What was it about it that it had that was relevant to the paper that you were writing? Keep it consistent, and if you use one pattern, use it throughout the annotated bibliography. So I'm gonna show you what pattern we need to use. Here's an example of an MLA annotated bibliography entry. It's kind of hard to read because it's just a picture of something, but it's got the original citation at the top. There's the author's last name, comma, first name. So basically you're going to use the citation from your works cited page for Project 4 essay. And then there's a paragraph that gives a summary of what this source is about. And then there's a paragraph that gives an evaluation. And here's the same thing with it marked. So you can see there's the citation, there's the summary, and there's the evaluation. And that's exactly what I want you to do for this assignment. Take your original works cited page and fill in this information. How I'm going to evaluate this: 25% of the grade for this will be based on your MLA citation for each annotation. So if I made some comments about your citations from Project 4 essay, then that need to be fixed, then please fix them, because you're going to get 25% of this is going to be based on whether you did the MLA citation correctly or not. So we've been over this several times. Reference your Little Seagull handbook if you need to. Go look it up on the internet. Look at previous assignments that I've given you over and over, how to do those MLA citations correctly. And then for each one that you do, make sure that it's done correctly. After that, 25% of your grade will come based on the summary, a well-written, concise summary of each source. 25% of the assignment will come from a clear, evaluative statement of the source, including strengths or any weaknesses. And it may not have any weaknesses. It may just be a really good source because you were supposed to, find something that scored well on that CRAAP test that we did. And then a fully edited citation, summary, and evaluation free of grammatical, mechanical, spelling, and typographical errors. 25% will come from that. So do it correctly for 25%, 25% for summary, 25% for evaluation, and 25% for your proofreading and editing it so that it has absolutely no errors in it. Okay, so that is the annotated bibliography. So go back to the middle page. So view the slideshow. You can go back and look at it again. We've been over it once now. View the assignment document. Here's the assignment document. And the directions say use the same MLA format you would for an essay. Name your page, annotated works cited. Some instructors may want you to name it annotated bibliography or something else, but I want you to call it annotated works cited. Create a citation for each source you used in Core Project 4. Use 8th edition MLA format. You should be able to just go back to the other document, copy and paste that works cited page into this document, and as long as your citations are correct, you've got it already in alphabetical order and everything else there. Then underneath each entry, briefly summarize the material in the source. 3 to 5 sentences should be enough for that. Don't just give me one sentence though. Give me a concise summary, but something that gives me some good information. You might want to consider what main idea does the author present, what important details does the author use to support his or her main idea, what is this about, What point is the author trying to make in this source? That would be, all of these would be relative to the summary. And then step 4, underneath the summary, write your paragraph. I lost my place. Here we go. Underneath the summary for each entry, briefly evaluate the source. 2 to 3 sentences would be enough to do this. Is it a good source? Think about the following questions. Is there any information about the author of the source? In other words, does it have a reliable author creating the information? Can you find any information about the author's qualifications? What makes the author qualified to write about the topic? Does the source present information that seems accurate, dependable, and valid based on what you already know about the topic? How do you know this? What proof do you have that this is good, accurate information? And is this the most current information, or does it even matter if it's current? If it doesn't matter if it's current, you probably don't need to answer that. But you can use the information that you recorded on your CRAAP test worksheet as you were doing your research for this. So you should have a lot of this already done so that you can quickly put this assignment together. Maybe not if you don't have it done, if you didn't fill out those crap sheets, and if there's something else that you haven't done, then of course you're going to have to go back to your source and get it done. Particularly the summary part, you'll have to go back to your source and look at it. Here's the sample of the annotated works cited entry again, just like it is on the slideshow that we just looked at. With here's your annotation in MLA format, hanging indent, and then underneath it, indented, because everything is indented except the first line, which is starting with the author's last name or the title if you didn't have an author. So indented, you'll have your paragraph of summary and then your paragraph of evaluation. And those can be short paragraphs. They do not need to be very long. And then you'll have your, I've given you the information again for how I'm going to grade it, with 25% for each one of these parts. So we've already been over that, and I don't need to go over that with you again. So if you need some more help on summary, here's the slideshow there. There is more information here summarizing a source. You may want to read that and get some more help with that if it's not clear from what I've already given you or what you already know about summaries. If you need more information about evaluating the source, you can look at that. And again, I gave you that worksheet that you were supposed to fill out. This is just a blank one that you were supposed to fill out, but you can use the questions and the guidelines on that in order to write your evaluation for this assignment. Here is the annotated works cited assignment itself, and here is the Turn It In link for you to turn that in when you have completed it. So submit your annotated bibliography on this Turn It In link. So I think it's fairly straightforward. You already have your works cited page from your essay. Just make sure that that's correct. If you need to make any corrections, make your corrections for that. And then add for each entry a paragraph of summary and a paragraph of evaluation. And set it all up in MLA format, and make sure that you have everything done as well as you possibly can. Proofread it, make sure you don't have any typo errors or anything else, and then hopefully you'll get a really good grade on this annotated bibliography assignment. So if you have any questions this week working on this, please email me and let me know, and I'll be glad to help. If you have a question about a specific source that you're asking me about, please included in your email the URL for it so that I can actually go to the site and look at it, because I won't be able to see what you're looking at when you have the question. So until next week, I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great week working on this assignment.